on Blaze. I'd love to tell the story that on Myrtle Beach Black Biker Week, a young Blaze saw opportunity to sell watermelon on the beach. So because you were ahead of the curve there. So, Black Biker Week. It would take Blaze everywhere, even on kayak tours. She told the story about working in their storefront selling sailing components. Blaze was strapped facing Vicki, and while helping a customer, Blaze proceeded to vomit, which enveloped Vicki and ricocheted off everything, and careened around her, splattering in a cartoon effect the wall behind her. The customer graciously said, "I don't think I need to go sailing today anyway." Soon after, the second of her 5 greatest accomplishments, Ethan Clay Gardner, who Blaze just spoke about in such an amazing way. Clay was a beautiful long-haired boy, often mistaken as a girl. His son bleached hair, playing on the beach with his mother, who was of a striking resemblance to him. So that was apparent for all to see. So we got lucky. Vicki is the most driven person that I've ever met in my life. She worked harder than anyone, and she was driven to find the answers to the questions that she was asking. And ultimately, that's what drove her on another quest for answers and adventure and connection, and took her to America's final frontier, Alaska. The way America used to be. She would proudly wear on her belt buckle. It's amazing. She arrived with her 2 incredible boys and a determination to succeed in creating community and connection. She began working at the Fort Seward Lodge bartending. Next was trying to work at Sockeye Cycles, a bike rental touring kind of business. She competed in the Kluane Chilkat International Bike Relay. Click one. And Vicki, you were on her team? Dead last. She also worked her own farm stand at the Haynes Farmers Market, selling fresh juice, salmon products, and my personal favorite, hippie heroin, to rafters, locals, and visitors alike. Enter the dog, Sean Dog. Sean was a mountain/fishing man and has been described as the most native white man ever. Together, they fished commercially out of Yakutat. Vicki's business acumen paired with her passion and Sean's mountain connections, his mountain connection. They operated 18 heli skiing and grew it to the established world famous among its skiers and snowboarders operation it is today. A faithful evening on a halibut fishing boat, as I understand, would lead to the third of Vicki's greatest accomplishments. Enter Hallie Moondog Brownell. Her real name's Halibut, but I spared her. But that's your dad talking, so can't hold on to me. Hallie lived a unique childhood, to say the least, between Dry Bay and Haynes. Her dolls were salmon, and Vicki would tell me she was always creating stashes of food that she would find around the house. A gathering instinct I have no doubt Vicki passed on to. Hallie is a natural athlete and has a penchant for cold water and swimming. She was right at home in these beautiful remote living situations. Keeping to Vicki's established schedule of birthing, with a fresh dusting of snow near the end of October in Juneau, Alaska, at the birthing center in a tub, which Vicki would eventually acquire and set up at her home at 26 Mile per Mains Day. Vicki's fourth of her 5 greatest accomplishments enter Neva Rainbow Brownell. Neva resembled Vicki almost mirror-like. From pictures from Vicki's childhood, their bond seemingly unbreakable and eternal. Neva has a natural eyelash that is not easily created, yet extremely sought after. Vicki would tell me of her Neva's frustrations as the snowflakes would land on the stick. Enter myself, Mike Wood. A friend of mine told me about this program in Haines, Alaska. I've heard of Valdez, but not Haines. He told me it's the Mecca, and as committed snowboarders, an essential pursuit. My parents graciously paid for my course. I mean, what could go wrong? Seemingly professional, industry-leading operation could only stand to benefit our son's desire to live and, to their point, work in the mountains. To say I wasn't ready for Alaska would be not enough of a apt description. And I was soon to find out that went far beyond my mountain proficiency. After a first successful day down guide school dropout through the home that Sean now is operating, Powder Mountain, check that out. The run called Guide School Dropout, as I was told that many students just drop out after that one. And subsequently, another day of success in the mountains, after another successful day in the mountains, I injured myself at the bottom of a run. My shoulder dislocation would ground me for the remainder of the course. All while Sean, Vicki, Glenn, Holly, and Eva made me feel like a part of their family. Before my injury, I heard Vicki ask Glenn if he wanted his new friend to join for breakfast. And upon offering to drive Hallie to school at Mosquito Lake, Vicki, not one to easily accept help, Hallie insisted, "Mom, my best friend." Vicki and Sean were in need of an accommodation for an incoming client. And maybe Sean can clear up some of how this went down. Vicki offered, since I was injured, and Hallie's best friend, I could move in with them and stay on the couch. Her idea or yours, Sean? Okay. As the other students were in the field, I began accompanying Vicki and Hallie and Eva full-time on all outings. We went dog sledding with Hallie's school. When the offer went out for parents to try, Vicki was in that sled faster than anyone else could consider the offer. I'll never forget her radiant smile as she slid back to the starting area. I felt like we were becoming best of friends during those weeks. As I said, the rugged mountains humbled me and put a fear in me never felt in my coastal BC comfort zone. I was soon to find out that I was way over my capacity to deal with morality, emotions, and deep feelings that would overcome me. As I said before, Vicki was extremely driven, and nothing would ever stop her from getting what she wanted. She wrote me an email confessing her love for me. I felt a wide range of feelings that I ever felt before. I went snowboarding to clear my head, and while driving home, my phone ringing, I answered. It was her. I told her I was scared and it felt wrong in ways. She quickly quashed these misgivings and offered to fly me to Juneau to spend a week with her. Everything in my mind screaming no. My heart spoke up one word: go. She had an undeniable pull.
Okay. I know it's hard for you that mama's. 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 I know it's hard for you that mama's.
Our connection was deeper than anything I'd ever felt, being honest. I was an unemployed ski bum with a flailing garlic operation. There wasn't too many selfless goddesses owning half of a heavily seen company venue.
Can someone unmute the computer, please?
Got it.
Or we can both sleep in the bed together. We operated with reckless abandonment from then on. I went to Whitehorse and spent a week with her, Allie and Neva. Allie initially confused me with a guy named Mike, referred to as Porchy. I wonder what would have been if I hadn't connected her to who I was. Deep in the throes of our passionate love affair, unfortunately unaware was the dog. And to speak to the strongness of Vicki and its connection to me, not even the fear of Sean Dog absolutely beating the life out of my body could stop me. Ultimately, he found out, and I hid from him for the next 4 years. Sean, in some capacity, accepted our love. Not long after, he would find love again. Enter Rihanna, Canadian Halley pilot. And after that, the third of Sean's 4 greatest achievements, Juniper. Okay, sorry. So now Vicki's moving to Canada with Vicki herself, of course, and Hallie and Neva to Vancouver. I think I had just enough gas to get to the airport. I was preparing a garden for Vicki, grow food to feed our new family and community in Pemberton. When Hallie and Neva came off the plane, I don't know which one of us was more scared. Vicki being bright and confident, we traveled to our new hometown. First stop, the bike shop. Vicki bought Hallie and Neva new bikes. A demonstration of Hallie's athletics. She bit her teeth off her handlebar and caught her tooth in her hand. When the shock subsided, she asked Vicki, "Mom, did you see me catch it?" Vicki did. I have never experienced a mother provide more love and attention to her kids. With cooperation and support of my Pemberton parents, Pat and Leonard Bradner, we built a productive market garden and garlic patches at the Pemberton Valley Vineyard. After a summer with Vicki and the girls, the operation was to scale that she could primarily operate, and with the addition of her fresh juice, Vicki and Hallie and Neva launched an assault on the Sea to Sky Farmers Market circuit. One thing I'm very grateful for is after a summer of full-time parenting, and I'm saying Vicki level full-on, full-time, that summer, the next summer, I got 2 jobs and helped Vicki while scaling up to 20,000 garlic and her operating her market stand. Her work ethic and determination were contagious. Hands-off style of market parenting turned Hallie and Neva into mob boss and Tappa roles of their market kid's mom. Neva would cut a line 20 kids long to the front, position herself in front of the face painter, close her eyes. The painter would stop the paying customer and paint his face. From there, she would head over to frostbite snow cones, where Neva would cut her next line and receive a snow cone. now freshly painted up and running on sugar. I don't even know. The kids would canvass the market and figure out what they could trade of moms for items like pizza and popcorn and other things that they wanted. And they knew how to time a request for raw funds as well after a rush of customers, and she was flush. One time, while always concerned while arriving at the market as to where are the children and when did you see them last? There's thousands of people walking through this gauntlet. I saw Neva approaching, very upset in tears, and she was saying that they yelled at her immediately. Who yelled at me? They yelled at me. I was getting very, very upset. Sort of the fatherly instinct that nobody yells at my kid. Allie was close behind, looking very concerned. After Neva had gotten me all riled up and I was ready to find this person who was yelling at her, Allie informed me that Neva had been sneaking on rides. And that actually they just really asked her to not do that. It was crushing for her. This is where I had to switch to more of a point form because my wrist was getting sore from all the writing. To this day, Neva's painted face, I believe, also with snow cone, is on a going that's displayed in the farmers market all summer. Whistler. Allie and Neva attended Waldorf school in Whistler, which was pretty cool because they could go skiing, which they did at the time, as well as Vicki, whenever they wanted. The first day I took Allie and Neva skiing was probably a lot like the last couple of days in the mountains. It was the record most coldest day in Whistler's history. And I just thought, well, this is the perfect day to take them skiing for the first time. I mean, they're from Alaska, so let's go for it. Vicki was not sold on skiing or snowboarding. She had bought a 5 or 10 day edge card instead of the pass. So she waited in the village. Upon successfully navigating the first hitch of Eco Bowl, Neva had a complete breakdown. Probably because it was really, really, really cold. Allie was soon to follow. She was able to ski, but she was very upset and crying. At this time, ski patrollers and every other person working on the mountain was made aware of us. And I picked up Neva and decided that we had to get to the bottom as fast as possible. While riding down, Neva throttling me in the face with punches. We finally did get to the bottom, and maybe this is where she picked up some of that line cutting, but we got to cut the whole line, and ultimately we were on our way off the mountain via download from the top. In the gondola, everyone freezing. The coldest day ever in Whistler's history. Neva just couldn't take it and started crying. As an attempt to try and not kill the vibe, I asked Neva, what was the best part of the day? As if there was one. She, through tears, said, the skiing, everyone in the gondola, the collective. Oh. At the bottom, Vicki was ready to receive us. When you walk out of the gondola, it sometimes feels like you're going to a movie premiere. All the parents are usually there with their cameras ready, expecting to see something good. This was not something good. Neva was crying, and Hallie was either crying or also very upset. They were not very happy with Mike. But it was okay, and we kept skiing a lot, and Eva became a absolute hellion on her skis, although she never progressed past little kid ski style. I got lots of stories, but I'll try to keep moving on here. Oh yeah, so also Vicki, who owned a heli skiing company, didn't know how to ski. So I taught Vicki how to ski. Being a snowboarder, eventually I said, "Oh, you know, you might want to like take a lesson, like a ski lesson." She signed up for a ski camp, and she was paired with six Vancouver housewives. She didn't really fit in. Yeah. When they were talking, they asked her, "Oh, well, what's your skiing experience?" And she let them know, "Oh, well, my boyfriend, he taught me how to ski. He's a snowboarder." A snowboarder? They were not impressed, but I'm sure that they were in the following 2 days with her. Also, Clay and Blaze would come skiing and snowboarding with us, and so yeah, that was really great too. After being with Ali and Neve, I think Blaze initially wasn't too happy with Mike and what had happened, but ultimately he saw how much I cared for them, and he accepted me. Clay also probably not too happy, but maybe for other multitudes of reasons, being a teenager, would come and stay with us in the summer. And the initial summer was a little rough, but I think it set the tone for some really, really magical summers after that. That's it. That's right. Cousin Brenda made a pilgrimage with Clay, and her mother's here tonight. That's Aunt Tammy. So, yeah, so.
We do have an Antonio.
Right. So yeah, I'm not completely off. That's like a half point. And that was great. And I think he came the next summer. And oh, that's something I do want to talk about is we went to Tofino on Vancouver Island with Clay. I had had some good fortune on a job and ultimately decided let's spoil ourselves. We went to Tofino and we absolutely loved it. Vicki loved the ocean. She loved surfing, and it was the start of many trips that we took there, and also with Hallie and Eva. And Blaze hasn't made it there yet, so
Being a surfer, kind of crazy, but it's on the list.
it's on the list. We're gonna get Blaze out to Tofino, and he's gonna love it. So now I'd like to acknowledge my parents, John Wood and Debbie Damon. Tragically, John Wood passed away, and Vicki was there for me to deliver me home in record time to be with my family. She stayed with us until his celebration. She had to go to Alaska to operate her business, and the next few years were tough for us, but we spent lots of time together in Pemberton, and we had some really cool drives from Hayes to Pemberton with Hallie and Neva one year and Neva and Clay the next, and those are really, really special times to me. And there's something. Oh, okay, so we got to Laird Hot Spring. I hadn't seen Vicki in a month or two, and once she came out of the change room, and I didn't recognize her at first, and I thought, oh man, that's a pretty hot babe there. And upon turning around, oh, that's my babe. So, this is pretty good. The first year at the Laird Hot Springs, they were the rudest sort of people. I mean, do you remember that? Yeah, it was just ridiculous. Yeah, it was just crazy. So the next year, I came in with a very thick skin, ready to take the abuse and hurl some back. The staff had turned it over and was very friendly. So then Vicki went to Hawaii, to Maui. She felt called there, and she had just sold her share of the Helly business, and she was transitioning to something new that she felt really good about. She registered at Maui Massage School, and she obviously quickly made some really great friends there that she's still with today, and her friends and Neva and Hallie just rallied around that whole island for that whole year. Re-enter Mike Wood. I then followed Vicki to Hawaii and would spend half the year there, which I was legally allowed to do. And eventually, after 3 really good years doing that, I convinced Vicki to marry me and move to Canada. But there's some things I gotta talk about now. Oh, yeah, right, of course. While training at the Maui Massage School, she caught the eye of a local kumu, Gina. I'm not even gonna try to say your last name, Gina, at this time, but Gina owned and operated the Ho'omana Spa and massage school. Vicki trained under Gina and also worked at the spa, and just like here at the Sanctuary, it was a special place. I would try to spend 5.5 months in Hawaii so that we could have 2 weeks together if she wasn't going to visit me. We often spend our time going to the Haynes Fair. And yeah, it was the Haynes Fair is, well, it was one of Vicki's favorite things. She loved the fair. One year, Hallie won the talent show, and within the same week had a birthday, and it was just a really, really, really great week. I forget what he was doing, but I'm sure she's done really great stuff too. Yeah, good job. So other than that, oh yeah, then we got married in Aberdeen at the vineyard where we had operated our gardens years before. That winter, we decided we weren't going to ski anymore. We were just going to be a snowboarding family, and I would be the instructor. Vicki served regular footing, so I set up a specific pattern semi-directional board as such. On the first day, it appeared that she was not going to snowboard regular. She would snowboard backwards or whatever. Right foot. Yes. Callie and Neva also excelled on their snowboards. Neva really liked to stick to the heel edge, but she was pretty committed to that heel edge, and she could make pretty magical things happen on that. So really cool memories of that winter snowboarding and taking Neva down the Black Hawk Glacier and Powder, and Hallie just absolutely her raw athleticness, making that snowboarders just obey her and Vicki. Vicki also got pretty good at snowboarding, and on a particular run, aptly named Rock and Roll, Vicki found her sweet spot almost every time and just nailed her turns down there. Looked great. But she wanted to go back to mountains, so that's where she went, and I went after her, of course. We traveled to Molokai together, and had a really special time there with her Lomi sisters. Lomi being the Hawaiian traditional massage. Before Molokai, Vicki acquired Honey Cat, and this was one of Vicki's first pets, other than lots of rabbits and other things, and a dog. But really, this was her first pet, hers, and she loved Honey Cat, and Honey Cat taught a lot to Vicki, and vice versa. And my dad is here with, not here us tonight, but she's at home and she's doing great. So after a year or two on Maui, and at the time, we decided we were going to move to Bellingham to be closer with Clay and Blaze and provide a solid home for Allie and the incoming of Vicky's fifth greatest accomplishment. Mahina. We rented the lake house and Mahina was born shortly after January 12th yesterday. Happy birthday, Mahina. This is unfortunately, started having health problems. I decided it would be best to go back to Canada, have them taken care of. We were then separated for about a year and ultimately pulled back together. And we worked through a lot of our trauma over the phone while we were separated. Vicki ultimately got a pardon back into Canada. She had been barred from, and we went on a few really nice trips just in the last 3 months together. And we went to the Okanagan where she was called to by some people she'd met at the lonely place, and she was there to help people, which is what she did best. The next trip, Vicki brought my hand. I was gonna not messing around with skis and kids this time. Maybe was going straight to the board. And me and Vicki spent 3 days with Mahina on the mountain. And we just made it all about Mahina. And, I learned so much from Allie and Luba and Vicki about parenting. And ultimately, I hadn't really had a clue what to parent. So, but I feel like I'm ready to be a grandparent. And I just love her, just love them, be patient. Just that's what they do with them. Just love them. And ultimately, one day we looking for something to do. I offered, why don't we go to the pool? And I'm sure how Neva would know that like he doesn't offer to go to the pool. Didn't really love the pool as much as the kids. They never wanted to leave the pool, but this time was different. We stayed in the pool for hours and hours, and it's just completely over it. And it felt really good. And Vicki thanked me later for my patience, and it just felt really good that I learned so much and was able to use it. I was so happy and excited to be a grandparent with her going forward. Just a few weeks ago, Vicki and Blaze came up for Christmas. We met in Squamish because they came in late, and I tried to get them on the hill the next day, but they wanted to watch Seahawks and hang out in Squamish. And I was at work, I think. We connected in Whistler and went to the long way for a quick drink and a snack, and then back to my place. And I made Blaze and Vicki dinner. Me and Vicki played cribbage. I guess I'll go back a little bit. So on the trip to the Okanagan, we went to Harrison Hot Springs on the way back, and we were playing crib at the Harrison Hot Spring Hotel, and some female woman with her partner inquired as to who the better cribbage player was. Well, I thought we were a pretty good match, but I thought otherwise. She said, "Oh, that's me." If he's very, and then I told him in the games that he wasn't going to have an edge over me and that we were all bullshit. But she did still win every game that got to Christmas Eve. Played games of cribbage, and I think I won, which I didn't want to because that's still bad. But this time was different. He was actually happy. Things would change. The next day we got to the hill good and early, as I like to do. I always tried to get Vicki to come to the hill early, but kids and such and whatever, she didn't quite grasp the concept of being in line to get to snow first. But on this day, the connection was immediate. Somebody with my early arm grew. She told me that she was so happy to that kind of thing. We went up the hill, we did a run together. My brother was there, day out. And on the next run, Vicki encouraged us to go, and we were planning to hike to the peak. Vicki, yeah. Do whatever you want, okay? That's what Vicki would want. So, anyways, me and Al and Blaze set off for the peak, but storm was incoming, and please keep your shoulders stopped us on our way up the mountain to inquire as to what the heck we were thinking. As we strapped in at the top and the brutal wind just pounding us relentlessly, I confidently said, we'll just stick together and overlap on tracks, and or we'll be in the spot and it's gonna be good. Well, things didn't quite go like that. The top of the mountain hadn't been open yet that year, which is great for hiking in, but in an extreme blizzard of 100-kilometer-hour winds, things don't quite look like I think they look. I hit the brakes on my heel edge and immediately went over the south side. For a moment, I thought, that's it. I'm going all the way to the road through jagged rocks and scattered snow. I stopped myself, climbed back on the road, and pulled out in Blaze. The road's really tight. You got to be careful. Before I finished saying that, Blaze had disappeared off the cornice on the north side. They're going, he's gone. He's gone. Moved down the ridge a little. Blaze, are you okay? He was moving. He might not have heard us. We said it again. He was moving. I think he said, there's powder down here. But we then tried to engage the plan, get to the spot. The spot where I've been many, many times before was eluding me. And I seemed to be going back with the lifts and things. We were blowing up and not making a lot of solid progress. Eventually we found it. And from there, it was a fantastic run all the way to Vicki in Glacier Park. She was very happy and reported to me that she was at the Crystal Lodge, but she always kind of had trouble with kinds of things of where she was. I said, I think you're at the Glacier Lodge, we'll just go there. She was there the rest of the day together. It was snowing a lot and the snow was nice. Vicki was making lots of really great turns and absolutely operated like it was just amazing. We went down to the garden. We went to my brother's in Squamish for a Christmas dinner. Blaze met us there. We had dinner. Blaze left. We stayed the night. The next day I was meant to work. Vicki stayed in the car and did things. I got cut from work early. She said, okay, great, I can make the train. We drove down to Squamish, had a lunch. we actually agreed on where to go. And I even said, well, if we're going there, we should have a beer. And she said, well, I'm not having a beer because I'm gonna be cutting drinking down. I'm getting healthy. So, oh, well, that's all. From there, things only got better. I said, well, I don't want to talk about maybe me trying to come back to the States and getting my green card. Vicki always thought that I didn't actually want to do these things and that I just wanted to be a ski bum. But I did very much want to do all these things. And she said, oh, I don't think you should do that. You'll lose too much. I don't think I'll lose anything. I could still be in Canada for 6 months and do the job that I'm required to do for 17 days of the year and ultimately have, everything I want. She then said, well, I think I'd rather move to Canada. I'm not getting any younger. Which is odd because it seemed always as if she was. She says, and the healthcare would be good. I was like, well, are we actually agreeing on things? I mean, it's required for a little while after that. I drove her to the train. I went in the station with her. I helped her with her bags and her form and all the things she had to fill out. She hated all that shit. And she was adamant that I go. I had to drive in the dark. I gave her a kiss, a hug. I went to the car. I saw Blaze's water bottle. I ran it back in, on our way through the train part into customs. I called to her. She heard me. She turned back. I showed her the water bottle. She tried to grab it and go. I grabbed her arm, pulled her in. I wasn't gonna. It was an opportunity to give her another kiss goodbye. She boarded the train. She told me I'll be back in 2 or 3 weeks. Maybe I can even break even. Unfortunately, that's where the story ends.
Thanks, Mike. Hey, that story is gonna go, right? We got a lot more chapters, and we all want to be in that book. Thank you. If there's anyone else that wants to say anything, absolutely welcome. So,
I don't want to stand up here, but I just want to say
It's fine.
that the last time that I saw Vicki, right after that trip, that she said to me how loved she felt by you when you reunited. And I just want to share that because that was, we talked about a lot of things that night. And that was one of the things we talked about was how loved she felt by you.
Thank you, Becky. And anyone else wants to say anything about Becky's stories or anything like that? I know that we've started a Remembering Vicki Facebook page and there's a lot of really nice things posted there, and it's really helpful for me and I think all the kids to read these things. And when I read these stories, it's almost like she's living again just for that moment.
I would like to, if I could, sir.
So I encourage everyone to keep sharing their stories and photos on the Remembering Vicki Wood page. And Does anyone else want to say anything?
Just want to, hold Vicky's beautiful self in our hearts for a moment. And I know I said it before, but Vicky didn't make friends. She made a family. And she made me a part of her family. And it's been such an honor. And my God, I actually made an auntie to her girls. And they're really proud I got an auntie too. And I just want to be more like Vicky. I want to be where they back. I want to keep my heart more and more open. And I want to make everyone I love part of my family. And as quickly, 2 years later, we get a whole room full of people who love Vicky just like that. She was so lovable and so beautiful. And I feel so lucky to be a part of you guys. Thank you. And thanks to Vicky and all our hearts.
Anyone else want to say anything? Sean Dog, get up here.
Never been afraid of a
Oh,
microphone.
cool. I like to hear that.
Okay, so, yeah, this is incredible for me, you know. When I first met Vicki, I was pretty much just this guy with a lot of wild things going on. I mean, a lot of shit happened. But I kind of get things started and I'd be halfway there and I'd go on to the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. And so I had a whole bunch of stuff just flapping in the wind, right? And I think when I met her, she sort of saw this guy that was getting all this stuff going, but I was just a ski bum, you know, held skiing and doing all this crazy stuff. I was never gonna have kids, never gonna buy a house. I was just living. And before I knew it, I had 4 kids. And so basically, I want to thank her for helping me reel it in and, you know, being able to get my life together, because I still be that guy drowning the earth. Not a lot, but a bunch of friends. So now I have this great home and I have all this awesome stuff because she really helped me focus and get it together. And I'll thank her forever for that, because now I have this home for my children. I have these 2 successful businesses, and it never would have happened without her. And just thank her so much for helping me get my life together. And Mikey, I never once wanted to beat your ass. You actually set me free.
You might have sent an email, but don't forget to that, but I appreciate that,
It
Sean.
was all for that. I'm Sean Dog, I have a big bark, but you know, my tail's always wagging back there, so. Yeah, I love you too. And play, you know. Yeah, I feel like I'm your dad too.
You're a bird man.
Yeah. It's just, you know, and I've had nothing but daughters in my life, so, you know, 2 sons is a pretty good thing. You know, I've seen Mama Mia probably 500 times. And in the end of Mama Mia, you know, there was 3 dads there. And I just had this last night watching Mama Mia with Medina.
Again,
That
501.
yeah, 501. You know, I realized that you guys, you know, you have me, you have Dad, you have Mikey, and all representing my life. And I feel happy together. There's someone that I always feel welcome and feel. I'm really happy to have had the chance to spend the whole thing. You know, I've never done any of these a lot.
Yeah.
And I just want to keep that connection forever.
Yeah, we love you, man. We're very thankful.
Like, love you guys.
Yeah, cool. Sean Dog, big part of my life. He's taught me a lot of skills. And yeah, like I remember the first night Sean Dog came over and we lived in Dusty Trail's apartment. You know, my mom's single mom with 2 boys. And Sean Dog came over and we were like, this guy is really cool. He's a snowboarder guy. And yeah, man, he's taught us so much and we're love you and thank you. Cool.
I also like to say something. please feel free, but also it's okay if you don't. Thank you for being here.
I would like, I would like to say something.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, let's turn your volume up. Go ahead.
Bull, unmute yourself, Bull.
My name is Chris Bull Briley. I went to high school with Vicki. We graduated back in 1986 from Conway High School. She was a cheerleader. Of course, I was a big football player, and she cheered me on, you know, back then when we were making our run at the state championship, and even later on in life. You know, Vicki reached out to me on my 56th birthday, and I was going through a lot of stuff, you know, physically, mentally, and stuff like that. And you know, it's funny because she just had that way of reaching and talking to you in a way that was calming and very very open, and we always had a great relationship. And you know, being teenagers, there's a lot of things that we did growing back up, you know, we're at being at parties, and you know, having that drinking thing back when you're young. And then, you know, later on in life, you know, I was running nightclubs and she went on to do other things. And but I'm here today, I truly believe this, because of Vicki. She reached out to me in a time that I was going through a lot, and especially physically. And I had to have a surgery, and I went to the very first appointment, and I weighed in at 368. And she started this stuff with Purium with me, and which took me down a whole different road. And I ended up losing right at 55 pounds in about 115 days total, I guess it was, when I really kind of hit the lowest mark. And but the one thing that I did over that time was I started putting down the bottle because of that, and because of trying to improve my health, but also because of the encouragement of her. And then this beautiful team that we have here, our members here that are on that, just really looked up to Vicki, you know, Alec and Tevion and Tracy, and just to name a few, but there's more. There's Boo and other people out there that, and this was just such a devastating loss Sunday night, and I'm not sure I can muster anymore. But it's been a very emotional week, and she came back out here this past fall, and because of work and, you know, the surgery thing going on, I wasn't able to meet her in Conway and speak with her in person and see her like I wanted to. And I regret that, not trying harder to get down here to do that. So I would say this about Vicki Woods, is that she was a woman amongst women. She stood 40 foot tall in my case. She was a true friend in and out of everything that we always did. And what she stood for, her light, her brightness, her children, her love for her children, her love for life itself and people. And no matter how bad of a day you were having, you could talk to her for 5 minutes and she would lighten you up. She was truly a great friend to me. And she will truly be missed, but she will live on forever and she doesn't have to deal with all this stuff now. She's in the hands of the good Lord, and the good Lord's going to take care of a person like that more ways than one. And I just hope one day I can join her again, because she was truly an amazing, amazing person to me. That's all I have.
Thanks so much, Chris. She told me about you, that you guys rekindled that friendship, and I express a lot of gratitude for that. So thank you very much. Next, I'm gonna have my mom's friend Alec speak, and she was very close with Alec. She talked to me a lot about Alec, and he's my brother now. So go ahead, Alec. The stage is yours.
Hey, thank you, Blaze. Appreciate you, bro. And yeah, appreciate everyone being here right now. And I wish I could be there in person and, meet all these amazing people that I've been seeing hugging and connecting in person. And, grateful that we have this space to be able to come together on this Saturday night. And yeah, I'm curious. Sorry, dog's barking. I'm curious, just in the chat and in person. I'm curious. Raise your hand or drop a 1 in the chat if you were a part of Vicky's life in the Hawaii chapter. If you came into Vicky's life in the Hawaii chapter, so that was for me, for sure. March 2020, when all of our lives were put on pause, I made a post on this Facebook group. I needed housing on Maui. My yoga teacher lives on Maui, and I made this post, and this super chill dude, Mike, just sends me a message. It was like, yo, message my wife. Her name's Vicki. And that was it. And I was like, okay. So I call Vicki, and on the other line, this woman picks up, and it is like the epitome of super chill, aloha aina, which means she is just the epitome of spirit, And she welcomed me and 3 of my crazy yogi friends in, and we studied yoga for a month. She wasn't even there, and she just like let us do our thing, super hands off, coolest landlord ever. And I had left, COVID happened, as we all know. And I went over to Oahu to spend time with my mentor, Tevia, who became a very strong person in Vicky's life as well. And I had left at her Airbnb at Mike and Vicky's home these superfood greens that, have been a part of my life for the last 6-7 years. And I forgot I left them completely. And she hits me up and she was like, hey, what are these powders that you left on my counter, dude? And I was like, oh my God, just have them. Don't even worry about it. I don't even think twice about it. And then she called me back 24 hours later and she was like, dude, what is this stuff? And we built connection, and we built a business together, and we started to, move through these layers of these self-limiting beliefs that each of us, that myself, that we place upon ourselves. And when there's certain things in coaching and mentorship cultures where self-development is a part of the focus, which Vicki, I came to learn, was so invested in her own self-development for herself and for humanity and for, her children and for the people that she encapsulates herself with. And we did that work together. And there was not a single week over the last 4 years that we didn't talk on FaceTime, on Zoom, on our team calls, which met sometimes 2 to 3 times a week. Blaze, it was the first time a week ago a week ago tomorrow. It was the first moment I got to meet Blaze under unfortunate circumstances, but it was the weird synchronicity of him hitting me up at 2 p.m. when I was meant to have a 3 p.m. call with Vicki, Tevia, and Tracy, our mentors in this journey of Purium. And Vicki is a leader. And, to me, in my own opinion and experience of death, I feel that death, it brings us closer into life, and how when someone dies, we're able to hold greater experience for what it is to truly be alive and truly live our life to the depth of what it means to serve someone and hold purpose and passion. And Vicki did that with, she didn't give about what anyone else thought about her. And if she did, she worked on not caring so then she could do what she wanted. That's what I always saw in Vicki. She was like the epitome of me. She was an auntie to me. She was a big sister to me. She was a dear friend. And, you know, I remember her telling me about the journey with her and Hallie and Neva and her other two sons and her children, and being like, wow, you know, Vicki, I look forward to calling you up when I've got kids and I've got some pain in my buttocks and I need to deal with some children, and you can give me that auntie advice, you know? And so I know for me, she'll be able to hold that in spirit. And so yeah, I'm really grateful to be able to be here, Blaze, and to see all these people here on camera and be in person in this way. And I know that my brother Tevia, my mentor Tevia, I know that he would like to say something as well, Blaze. So if it's okay, I'd love to pass the mic over to him and then pass it back to you, bro.
Yeah, of
Big
course. Thank
aloha.
you guys so much. Thank you, Alec. That's beautiful, man. I'm super happy she was able to do that for you, and you're very special to her, and we're so much gratitude, man. Thank you. But yeah, Tevia, please go ahead. You're next.
Well, aloha, everybody, and to all of Vicki's friends and family. And Vicki and I shared a special connection as I got to be a part of Vicki's vulnerability and transparency as she was working in self-developing, in learning and growing. And there was something that was said earlier tonight, that it was said that Vicki was one of the hardest workers. And I would have to agree with that when Vicki put her mind to something, there was nothing that was going to stop her. She was graceful. She showed grace. She had gratitude. She looked at the things that were good, the light. Even when she was going through a storm, a tornado, a flash flood, if you will, a hurricane, she looked for the high road. You would never know how challenging or what the challenges were that she was actually going through. I learned a lot from being in a mentor position with Vicki. She was an entrepreneur. She was a grandmother. She was a mother. She was a partner. She was a bright light that will be deeply missed. But she's alive. Her spirit is here. And I'm grateful for all of you carrying her light and her mission and her love, as we will hear all of us that are here on this Zoom too. She shared a big love that is still here with all of us. And may we all continue that mission that Vicki had of helping people to become healthy, as she was doing the same thing. She inspired many, and she will continue to. I know over here we've created in our team, she was the first person to reach markers that nobody else on our team had ever reached, just bringing people aboard and helping them to get healthy and to self-develop. And so we've created the Vicki Wood UBT challenge that, you know, people can donate money to, that then, you know, just along with the GoFundMe on our end, so we can continue the legacy and just donate that back to the family. So thank you for this moment in time to share with all of you. And I just wanted to send my condolences to the whole family and all the friends out there and everybody that was touched by this beautiful spirit, by this beautiful woman, this soul. And may we all continue to share her light with the world and share the wisdom that she blessed us all with. So thank you for this moment to share that.
Thanks so much. Our family appreciates you, both you brothers, so much, and yeah, just gratitude. So, it was really important for her, these connections, like I said. So yeah, let's just keep those going. And you guys, there's about 40 people on the stream, Purium family and other family, and yeah, I just want us all to connect through this. So thank you very much.
Really awesome. Thank you, Alec, for running this live stream and giving that opportunity to people to be here that can't be here.
So, just some general information, going forward. I have 2 more Vicki stories, 1, maybe 2. And, there's a picture here that I was able to salvage a bunch of these little cut-ins with Vicki. Bit of a story with this picture here. She was in Maui, and what you can tell from the picture is she was looking really, really good. And things must have been going pretty good, okay, because I said, "Oh, why don't you send me a nice little shot, maybe a little butt shot, send me that since I'm away." She proceeded to hike to the top of Haleakala, and she sent me the shot. She also let me know that this shot was just for me. She also was unaware that she had shared the shot on her Facebook. The first comment being the world doubles surfer who literally picked Vicki up at the beach and surfed her into the shore with him holding her with my hand. Was nice crater. The next comment down was Clay. Mom, please. I was speechless. I have one more Vicki Woods story, and then I'm gonna. Oh, okay, and then we're going to. Everyone's welcome to take one of these. There's quite a few. They're over on the table by the onesies, the Vicki Wood block print. Also, we have a block printing station if people want to print some of their own flags, and if you're really into that, we can even maybe try and sew them. So anyways, it's an interactive thing, and if you're interested, just ask somebody from the family and we'll make sure we can get you guys printing some flags, take it home. Anything else that we want to generally get out there? Oh yeah, that was good. I think we're planning to move from here to Menace Brewing, to keep the celebration going. So if anyone wants to join us there, you're more than welcome.
She was a regular at Menace Brewing and loved it.
She was a regular. Menace Brewing is a cribbage bar, and was not among other things. And as I said, if you thought she was a pretty good cribbage player, I feel like he 3 times in a row. Anything else? We can raise the toast to Vicki now. Yeah, we can do that now. And raise our hands and hang our heads and get her a thought. So I guess this week will last 50 weeks. Well, for tonight, first part. So one time we're working in the garden and things are pretty cool. Things are good. I just kind of casually throw it up to Vicki. So was I the first grad school student? And she says, "Oh yeah, I was a good girl." It's like, "Oh, okay, cool, cool." And then she stops and thinks, and we're working in the crop together in the field. She says, "Oh well, there was JP, but he was a client first." I said, "You hooked up with JP?" She never said another word. And that's it. So please, let's block print, take these, and let's just remember her and love her and share our stories on a remembering group and that's it. Let's celebrate her and celebrate each other. Thank you everyone for coming. I want to thank the Post Sanctuary for hosting us and Regina, thank you. And that's it. Does anyone want to say anything else? Or?
We have someone on Zoom who would like to say something.
Okay, we have someone on Zoom. Do we need to? Zoom? Okay, they're gonna go.
Hi, aloha. Nice to see everyone here. I just wanted to acknowledge that, Vicki is still doing what Vicki has always done, which is bring people together. And I've watched Vicki put people ahead of herself so many times. And she was very selfless, loving. And she cared so deeply about everyone that she met, everyone that she knew. There was nobody that she cared more about than her family, but there was no person she ever met that she didn't care about either. Vicki was a special light that is absolutely going to be missed. And I loved her tenacity, her sense of adventure. One of the things that we got to do with Vicki is we talked about all the different roles, all the different hats that she'd worn in her life, which many of them were talked about today, her entrepreneurial spirit, her getting out on the slopes, her traveling and just picking up and going somewhere new. And I hope that we can each embody a little bit of her spirit in that way of grabbing life with both hands and making what we will out of it and leaving our imprint on people as she did. She's someone that was not easily forgotten. And she, as Tevye had mentioned, we named the Vicki Wood Challenge on our team. And she was so passionate about it because she was building a legacy for her family. And we want to continue to help support that with her too. But I just saw in today's gathering that she's still doing what Vicki does. And we'll keep coming together. And I appreciate the invitation for people to continue to connect and for her stories to live on. And, we collected a bunch of her pictures. And you can so clearly see her indomitable spirit in all the photos that have been collected over the course of many years. You can't hide that. And it was a beautiful, beautiful slideshow just of all the different ways and places and ways that she showed up in life. And one of the things that I'll always remember about her was her superwoman pose. And she had so many of those pictures. So when you're feeling low and you remember Vicki, we can follow her example and put on our superwoman pose. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Very nice, very kind words. Cool. We can, we're gonna put the music back on? And, we can meet and share and enjoy and have drinks and food and on the block turning if you sure choose and grab a tea shot over there. And, yeah, thanks everybody. Really great. Thank you, Alec, and everyone on Zoom.
Oh, hi, everybody.